For years, AI felt like this thing, way out on the horizon, something to think about someday. Well, that horizon is here. Today we're going to break down why having a real strategy for artificial intelligence has gone from a nice-to-have opportunity to an absolute must-have for survival.
So let me just ask you straight up, is your business really ready for what's happening? Because this isn't some far-off revolution we're talking about. It's a tipping point, and it's changing the entire game of how you compete, like right now.
And if you're kind of thinking, oh, AI, that's for the big tech giants, you really need to see this. As of 2024, 78% of organizations were already using AI. This is not a niche thing anymore. It's totally mainstream, and it is moving fast.
But what's really wild is just how fast this is all happening. Just look at that jump from 55% to 78% in a single year. A huge part of that explosion is thanks to tools like generative AI, which basically put these incredible powers into everyone's hands, almost overnight.
And that right there is what we're calling the AI tipping point. We are officially past the futuristic concept phase. It's here. It's a day-to-day business reality, and it's fundamentally rewriting the rules for how companies work.
And this stat really shows you that strategic shift in thinking. We're not just talking about using a few AI tools. We're talking about baking AI into the very core of the business plan. When 83% of companies say this is a top priority, the question isn't if you should do it anymore. It's how are you going to do it?
But okay, with an opportunity this big, there's always a flip side, right? A huge risk. And right now, the biggest mistake you can make with AI isn't getting it wrong. It's doing nothing at all.
This quote just nails it. The companies that jump in early start building this momentum, this flywheel effect. And as they get better and better, this giant gap, this chasm opens up, and it becomes almost impossible for the companies that waited to ever catch up.
And that chasm isn't just a feeling, it's got real numbers behind it. Just look at this data from Boston Consulting Group. The AI leaders, they're seeing 1.5 times higher revenue growth, 1.6 times greater shareholder returns. The message couldn't be clearer. If you're standing still, you're not just standing still, you are actively falling behind.
So what's holding companies back? It's so easy to assume it's the technology, right? That the algorithms are too complicated. But the data tells a completely different story. The biggest roadblocks aren't the algorithms at all. A full 70% of the challenges are about people and process. This isn't a tech problem, folks. It's a strategy problem.
All right, enough with the doom and gloom. Let's flip this around and talk about the good stuff. What's the actual payoff here? If you get your AI strategy right, what does it really do for your business? Well, it's massive.
It really comes down to 3 huge wins. First, making everything you already do way more efficient. Second, discovering brand new ways to innovate. And third, making smarter, data-backed decisions all across the company. Let's dig into each one. First up, efficiency. This one's a no-brainer. When you automate all the repetitive, tedious stuff, you free up your people to focus on what humans are amazing at: thinking strategically, solving complex problems, being creative. And it works. 77% of employees using AI say they get more done faster.
But it's not just about doing the same things faster. Think of AI as a discovery engine. It can sift through mountains of data and spot patterns and trends a human could never see. And that's where the magic happens. It can reveal whole new markets or new ways to build products you'd never have thought of otherwise.
Now, to give you a sense of just how big this opportunity is, the sheer scale. By 2030, AI is expected to add over $15 trillion to the global economy. That's trillion with a T. This isn't just another tech trend, it's a profound economic shift, and a solid strategy is your ticket to getting a piece of that value.
Okay, so you're convinced. The question is, how do you actually do it? How do you build a roadmap that gets you from here to there? Let's get practical and break down what a real AI strategy blueprint looks like.
A winning blueprint really stands on 3 pillars that all have to work together. You've got to build the right technical foundation, you have to empower your people, and you need to perfect the process that brings it all together.
Let's start with that first pillar, the foundation. This is the bedrock. It's all about making sure your AI projects aren't just cool science experiments, but are tied directly to your biggest business goals, and that you have the right data and tech to make them work.
So what does that look like? It means every single AI project has to solve a real problem. It means you have to be ruthless about prioritizing the handful of things that will give you the biggest bang for your buck. And, most important of all, you have to get your data in order. Your AI is only as good as the data it eats, and a bad data strategy is a recipe for failure.
Next up, and honestly, this might be the most important part of the whole thing, empowering your people. Remember that chart? This is where most companies fall down. The tech is just a tool. It's your team that makes or breaks your AI success.
To get this right, you have to invest seriously in training and upskilling. You also need a really clear vision from leadership, a vision where AI is a partner that makes humans better, not something that replaces them. And that means getting HR involved early and creating a culture where it's safe to try things, to experiment, and even to fail sometimes.
And that brings us to our third and final pillar, perfecting the process. Think of this as the guardrails for your journey. It's about setting up clear rules, handling security, and being smart and strategic about how you go from a small pilot project to something that works across the whole company.
This means you need a governance plan before you start scaling, so you know who's responsible and how you'll manage risk. It means you have to tackle security and privacy concerns from day one, not as an afterthought. And the smartest way to do it? Start small. Find a high-impact pilot. Prove that it works, learn your lessons, and only then do you scale it out to the rest of the business.
So when you put it all together, it's pretty clear that AI isn't just another piece of technology. It represents a fundamental change in how business gets done. And that presents every single leader out there with a very clear choice.
AI is here. It is reshaping every single industry on the planet. So the only real question left is this. Is your organization going to lead that change, or are you going to be left behind, struggling to follow? Because that choice is being made right now.